Hello, doctor.
Hello, Mrs. Emesis. What brings you here today?
Well, doctor, I feel like I am losing my mind. I have a child with a chronic illness. My son has an eosinophilic disorder, and I'm just very stressed and frustrated from having to deal with ignorant people who feel the need to voice an opinion about how to care for him, and especially annoyed with the so-called medical professionals who come into contact with him and clearly know nothing about his condition.
I'm sorry. What did you say he has, again?
An eosinophilic disorder.
Oh yes.
Okay, anyway, yesterday a man at Applebee's asked me why my son wasn't eating dinner with us, but instead was playing with his DS and licking a dum-dum. I told him that my son has an eosinophilic disorder, and that he was allergic to all the food on the table. This complete stranger then asked me what he eats. My son pulled up his shirt and proudly displayed his Mickey button. The man said, "You can't fit a cheeseburger through that." Can you believe it?
A button. With Mickey on it.
Anyway, last week my son barfed all over the children's section at Barnes & Noble. As I was cleaning it up, a lady asked me why I would bring a sick child to the store. I explained to her that he has an eosinophilic disorder and that his vomiting is not contagious. He can't help it, it just happens.
Well, yes, that is expected with an eosinophilic disorder.
Sure. Okay, well. Last month I had to take my son to the urgent care on a Saturday for a fever. The doctor there had never heard of eosinophilic esophagitis before. I asked him to check my son's ears. He asked my son if his ears hurt and he said they did not. This doctor then insisted that if my son had an ear infection, he would feel it. I explained that my son lives with pain, and therefore is not reliable at reporting it accurately. He reluctantly checked and found that he had a raging double ear infection. Though he told me that my son must just be refusing to report the pain so I wouldn't take him to the doctor. Can you believe that?
Yes, painful. He got a button stuck in his ear.
And his class had a party yesterday. He was unable to eat the food the parents were told not to bring. It was supposed to be a food-free party. And the medical supply company sent the wrong extension. And when his tooth fell out at school, the school nurse gave him an unsafe candy. He broke out in hives from head to toe. And he will only take the chocolate Neocate by mouth, but all I have is plain now. My neighbor suggested mixing it with Ovaltine. And he got a contact reaction from the Play-Doh they used in Sunday school, even though I said he cannot touch it.
What?
And I'm really anxious as we are starting food trials next month. We are going to trial pears.
Pears on trial.
And I have no more room in my pantry for the Neocate cans. And I currently owe $2,374 to the Children's Hospital for his last 3 endoscopies.
Mom, there is a diagnosis for what you are describing.
There is... what?
Crazy.